Good morning, or good afternoon, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're watching me from. I like the support. So hi, it's Lotty. Welcome to the world according to Lotty. I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit stuck about what to talk about this week. Yeah, I'd hit a writer's block, or I'd hit a brick wall. You know, it was about midweek, something like that. And I was thinking, because after my videos about interviews last week, I was thinking, what can I talk about next? I was really stuck. But then after watching a really magical show at the Talking Heads, one of my local venues, from the Hertzen Brothers, one of Finland's biggest bands, then it's like a huge light bulb, like flipped on. You know, like in the film, if you ever seen Despicable Me, you know, he goes light bulb when he has a really good idea. Well, when he thinks he has a good idea anyway. So, yeah. But basically, the thing I want to talk about today is like the importance of these venues in the music industry. As most of you know, I'm a huge supporter of the local musical scene. You know, if there's any gig going on anywhere in my local area at a really small venue, or I don't care how small the venue is. If I can make it, I'm there. 9 times out of 10, I'm there. But particularly like, when I say the smaller venues, like the ones that, they're not gonna get, I don't know. I mean, they may not get like the really big acts like Iron Maiden, AC/DC, whatever. But they started out at venues like that, most of them. These venues are so important for bands. They really are. I can't stress that enough. You know, because they're a stepping stone for their career. You know, that's a stepping stone for them. You know, like, for example, one of my favourite venues, the Joiners. If I'm not mistaken, Coldplay played there, Arctic Monkeys played there, and now they're playing stadiums and arenas. So, you know, these venues are important. They're so important. I mean, like, they may not seem it, but they are. They really are. So I think this is what I'm going to talk about this week, is the importance of these venues, and, and me encouraging you to go to more venues like that and check out more bands. It's a good way of checking out bands as well. A really good example of this, my first time I ever went to a venue that small, I was 16 in my first year at college, starting to make friends, and I hung out with a lot of like the alternative scene, like metal. They like their rock, they like their metal, like I do. So I hung out with them. One of them suggested, hey, if you're free this weekend, do you want to go to a gig? I'm like, okay, where is this gig? And he went, oh, it's at the Joiners in Southampton. I Am Ghost, a band called I Am Ghost were playing. They're no longer around, but they were pretty good. They were like my kind of one of my gateway bands into like that kind of metal and rock. So give them a lot of like credit. But yeah, he said, oh, come, if you're free, come along. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I think it was about, £5-6 on the door. So that, for 5 bands, that's really good. That's really good. Like £5 on the door, £5-6 on the door. I can't even remember now, but I mean, at first I was a little bit sort of, what's it going to be like? Because in the area it was in. I mean, no disrespect, but in St Mary Street is in Southampton. It's an alright area, but I wouldn't go wandering around there by yourself, with loads of valuables on show. I don't know. But yeah, no, I think because the area was in, sort of like, oh, don't want to like be alone here. And then once you get inside the venue, it's like the first thing that gets you is like the atmosphere, like everyone's so close, you can, and you know, the vibe of the venue. I mean, it may not, the joint, I mean, it may not be like Buckingham Palace, or it may not be like the O2 Arena, but there's that vibe, there's that strong sense of community and intimacy, which is what I really liked. Then the band started playing, and you're so close to the stage, you're so close to the band. It was amazing. I loved it so much. And you know, because it's also as well, it's so easy to like find members of the band after the show, because they're hanging out by the bar, and you can have your photo with them, you can chat to them, you can buy some merchandise from them. It's so cool. And that gig, from that point on, I was converted to small venues. I was actually converted. Because I loved the intimacy, I loved the tight sound, I loved the atmosphere. And it's venues like that are so important in the music industry, because, you know, they provide a stepping stone for bands in their career, and it's a chance for you to see these kind of bands, before they hit the big stadiums, before they hit the bigger stages at festivals. You know, it's so good. You know, these venues are so important. I think musicians will tell you the same thing, like particularly those who are starting out, you know. So my advice, I mean, don't take this as me completely dissing the arena shows, you know, because yeah, those are great to go to. I mean, it's a good chance for you to see your, you know, favourite bands like once in a blue moon, you know, at the, like, particularly in London or wherever. You know, don't get me wrong, I do like going to arena shows as well, and you know, they're quite a nice treat to go to every now and again, like if you get a ticket for your birthday, or, you know, you just think, oh, actually, yeah, I can go. Be a day out in a new town, yeah, go for it. Or, like, this year I saw Slipknot for the first time, and I thought, okay, you know, so thinking, right, I'm not sure when I'm going to get to see them again, you know, so they're a good chance to, like, particularly if they're your favourite band and they're, you know, you think, oh, well, they're probably not going to tour again for a little while, so I don't know when I'm going to, so yeah. But at the same time, you don't get that same intimacy atmosphere you do. I mean, the atmosphere is always good, but you don't get that intimacy you do with a smaller venue. It's like, I think this lady, I'm not sure most of you may know her, Amanda Palmer touches upon this in her TED talk, she does for TED, where she says the line, that the word celebrity now seems to be like, you can't touch them, they're like far away, rather than like being like a community in music. I think she touches upon something like that anyway. I'll link the video to her talk, because she makes some really good points in there about keeping the community. And it's the smaller shows as well, like, you get to meet, you're more likely to meet the band afterwards, because they're more likely to be at the bar drinking, and then you get to talk to them, get to, like, you know, do that now. Do that now, particularly this show I went to, the Hertzen Brothers. You know, catch them now whilst they're still playing at small venues. Because they do provide, because they provide like a stadium-like sound to a small venue, and you get to drink with them at the bar afterwards. You know, yeah, catch them while they're still playing at small venues. And another band to catch while they're still playing at smaller venues, Jettblack. They're really, you know, they provide a really good, you know, their sound's really tight. They provide those sing-along anthems you get at stadiums, and yeah, they're nice guys to hang out with. So yeah, catch these bands now while they're still playing at venues, and help keep venues open, because so many all over the country, they're closing like that, because not enough people are going to these venues to check out their local music. I mean, go to the small venues. Buy a drink while you're there. Buy a drink or two to help keep the venue open. And when you go and see a band, buy some of their merchandise. It's money in their pocket and it helps keep them going. Support your scene. The next big thing could be on your doorstep. And, you know, catch them now. Catch these bands now before they start playing arenas and stadiums. And they make good, interesting stories to tell to your children when you do see them at these smaller venues and think, oh yes, I remember when they were playing at this venue and, you know, oh, he let me sing into the microphone. Oh, I had a drink with him afterwards. Do it. Just go to these venues. Go. Just in your local area. Just find out, you know, cheap entry. You get to hang out with the bands afterwards. And it's that same tight sound and you still, you know, just go. Go to these venues. Go and support the bands. Buy their merch. You know, support the true artists. That's me. That's me. So my advice, when you are going to these venues, buy a drink or two to support the venue. Buy some merchandise from the band to support the band and keep them going. Because it's like it said in my little photo, I'm not sure if you saw my journo page this week. Don't, you know, because bands do have to pay quite a bit of money to be able to play at venues or to tour. So, and yes, do, like I say, buy something from their merch stall. It helps them keep going. It helps them, you know, fund their tour. It helps them fund their albums, and yeah, particularly those who aren't on record labels or unsigned. So, but still, yeah, buy their merchandise, honestly. And then, yeah, just, yeah, support your music. Buy the merchandise. Go to the venues. That's me. And like I said last week, I will answer your questions. I had one last week. They asked me, so why was last week's video like longer than usual? I think the simple reason being, like, I had so much to say. I had more to say than I thought I did. The original video was half an hour long without editing. So, yeah. And I tried to cut it down as much as I can, but there wasn't much I could cut out because there was a lot that needed to be said. So that's why my video was that long last week. So thank you, Thorsten, for that question. And don't forget, if any of you have questions, get them in. Like I say, they can be as obscure or as simple as possible. Anyway, that's me. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.